Hey guys, it's Mr. Haas here, and I hope you're ready to do the fronts activity. Fronts are basically boundaries um, in between two different temperature airs. All right, you have two big air masses, a cooler one and a warmer one, and depending on which one is moving, you get different fronts. And fronts are always named by the type of air that is moving. So today we're going to learn about cold fronts, warm fronts, stationary fronts, and occluded fronts. So you have a little bit of work to do. It's going to be very similar to the cloud activity where you take notes. We're going to use the same sort of graphic organizer. And then you're going to use this assignment to help you when you have to read the weather map. That is going to be your final assignment for this week, okay? So again, we're learning about fronts, and fronts are basically boundaries where you have warm air and cooler air hitting each other. And when they do, they kind of react. And fronts were actually named in the, I want to say in like the 40s, or could have been earlier, one of the world wars, because if you're talking about a war and you're talking about a front is where the two different armies meet and they battle there. And when the science behind weather was first coming out around that time period in the early 1900s, they thought that this is a great way to call where two different air masses meet. Because it's almost like there's a battle going on between the warm and cold air. And because of that, on fronts, we usually get precipitation and possibly storms. So you're going to learn a lot about that this week. So make sure that you have a piece of paper before you start the assignment, just like this. It can be lined paper, doesn't matter. Maybe big poster paper, it's whatever you like. These are just for you. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half, just like we did with the cloud assignment, and then you're going to fold it in half one more time like this. So you're going to break it into quarters because we're going to learn about the 4 different types of fronts that we have, and I actually had more paper than I needed here. So I chose to use a blue and a red marker. If we were going to do this in class, I would have loved to make sure we had blue and red, because it kind of helps you when you see the word. If you remember it as a certain color, it can definitely help you out. So in the first box, I'm going to use the blue, and I'm going to write cold front, just like this. So hopefully you're doing the same thing. Okay, blue. Then I'm going to set the blue one down, and next to it, I'm going to use my red marker, and I'm going to write warm front, just like that. Okay, because with a cold front, it's cold air moving into an area of warmer air, and in a warm front, it's the warm air that is moving to an area that has cooler air. And you get different weather depending on which one of those happens. For the next one, which is going to be stationary, I'm actually going to write part of the word stationary front in blue and then part of it in red. So let me show you how I'm going to make that one look. I did it like that, part blue and part red, because with a stationary front, you get a front of cold and warm air that are hitting each other. They actually moved into each other, and they kind of sit there because neither one is strong enough to move the other. So you get a stationary front. And then the last one is occluded. I'm going to do something a little different, and you'll see in 1 second. So with occluded front, what I did was I wrote part of the word occluded in blue, and then the beginning of it in blue, the end in blue, and the middle in red. And you'll learn through the video that I do for you that there's a reason for that. With an occluded front, you get a cold front that catches up to a warm front and actually kind of lifts that warm air up above it. So you get a cold air moving through, but it's got a large amount of warm air above it, which gives you a certain amount of precipitation. So it should look like this when you're all said and done. And you're going to use that as you take your notes in this assignment. So take them well, don't lose it. You're gonna want to use it later on. So can't wait to see you do all your awesome work, and I hope you enjoy it and learn something. Have a great day.